that bite is really painful. It hits different. You feel it hits to your head inside and to other places. It's like it's connected. It's painful. Ni kama ukigongwa ile kidole ya mwisho umegongwa kwa kitanda ama kwa kiti. You know that feeling that makes you feel it has gone to your head? It's a sharp pain.
When is the right time to get to weaning? Is there a right time to stop breastfeeding? Because breastfeeding creates a bond between mother and child.
Yeah.
So you have a grade 4 baby who still wants to wean. Do you stop because when a baby develops teeth and then you get stories that you've been beaten?
Yes.
Can a 10-year-old still breastfeed?
I surely, lakini 10 years ni mwanaume as a man. So when you're breastfeeding, 0 to 6 months is exclusive breastfeeding. Exclusive means that child or that baby is not getting any other form of food or liquid. Meaning, hakuna maji, ati umechemsha maji umeamua, anakaa kona kiu. Hapana. Hakuna juice, hata maji hakuna actually. Na watu wengine huko somewhere, they decide, ati mtoto wangu ashibi, so anakoroga kaugali ama maziwa ya ng'ombe. Hapana. The breast milk is actually sorting out that thirst if they have thirst. It's giving the carbohydrates, the proteins, the vitamins, the minerals, the A to Z of what that baby needs. Ask yourself a question. How comes mtoi you know na breastfeed too? And you find a fat chubby baby. And it's just fluids. So you can imagine the type of nutrients that milk has. A mother's breast milk is enough. So from 0 to 6 months, we advocate breastfeed your children. 0 to 6 months. So amezaliwa January hadi June, you're breastfeeding baby. So when are you weaning? So from 4 months, huwezi sema unapea mtoto ugali at 4 months. Weaning ni kumaanisha you're introducing other foods for the baby to start enjoying and eating. Mind you, there are actually people who breastfeed their children for a whole year without even adding anything. And that child is still healthy. But in our context, you find it's quite difficult because most women, we are not eating as healthy or as nutritious as 0 to 6 months or as 0 to 3 months. 0 to 3 months, you're being taken care of, you're being bone broth, etc. When you go to work, your supu at some point, maybe unaweza kosa, or you are too busy, you didn't eat, you didn't hydrate enough, you're not sleeping enough, you're not resting enough. So what happens to the quality and quantity? Goes down. So weaning is when you introduce other nutrient-rich foods because breast milk stops being enough in some of the nutrients that you're giving it. I don't know if that makes sense. So from 0 to 6 months, tumesema breast milk has enough A to Z nutrients. But for example, something like iron, from 6 months, it's not enough in breast milk to sustain the levels of iron needed by a baby, right? So you start introducing nutrient-rich foods. So from now 6 months to 1 year ndio ile mchezo ya paka na panya. Unaweka hii, inawaka, mtoto amekutemea, all those things. So it's usually a very interesting. But with a nutritionist, it actually goes down very, very well. And I've always advocated for, after you've gotten to around 5th month, start consulting a nutritionist so that they can guide you. What do I introduce? How do I introduce it and at what time? Because sometimes we make the mistake. You notice, and sometimes it's because of lack of knowledge. You're introducing foods. You start with something like vitamins. Ama unga ya kisiagi bwana. Na mtoto amezoea maziwa breast milk. So it becomes hard for baby to digest. Right? Proteins. For example, you've decided from day 1 umemsiagia ka minced meat. Now you're excited. I'm no longer breastfeeding as much as I used to. Minced meat. They are not able to digest strong proteins as much. You have to slowly introduce their digestive systems into certain foods. Some people ask, sasa nianze na solid, ama nianze na nini, ama nianze na nini. So the best way I know how, and from research and what I have done, is you introduce week 1, we start by introducing a carbohydrate and a vegetable. Because they're very easy on the system. But most of what you're doing is still breast milk. So they can even take 2 spoons and that's it. The whole day of whatever it is that you've given. So for example, uko na spinach na waru potatoes. So that is what you've chemshed, boiled, has some kidogo cooking oil completely. Some kitunguu, some nyanya. So you want them to also, their taste buds to get used to yummy foods. You will blend it or mash it depending on what you have, and then you give baby. You usually give very small, naona kama ile teaspoon ya sukari. That's the kind of size you're using. You give them, they taste. You notice some of them, they swallow. You give another one, they swallow. So their tummies are not big enough at umemjazia kabol at you're excited, they are feeding. Don't, because the risk will be constipation, diarrhea, kufura tumbo, discomfort, amongst other things. So that's why we say introduce slowly. At least just 2 teaspoons, yes, slowly by slowly. So that is what weaning is. When do you stop breastfeeding? Some children stop breastfeeding by themselves. And this is something I've noticed from practice. You're here telling a mom, the first 1 year you must breastfeed. My child refused after month 7. I have forced, stimulated, done, they refused. So what do you do in that case? Your breast milk is still present. Just keep pumping it and storing. Pump and store. Because you can use breast milk. So you've made potatoes and spinach. You've blended. You can take the breast milk, put it in there, koroga nicely, and give them that food to eat. They'll be interested in that food because it has a familiar taste of the breast milk to them. Number 2, since we are still advocating for them to continue breast milk, so you're pumping, even though they're not on your breast, they'll be using a bottle to feed from your pumped breast milk. So we advocate for 1 year for nutritious feeding. But if you can, from research, it says you go up to 2 years. Because breast milk has a lot of benefits for their brain, their skin, their gut health. Gut health is just your digestive system health. So it has a lot more benefits. But especially in the first 1 year, please let us not breastfeed our children or pump and give it to them. Now, some people usually ask, lakini si katapata meno katashinda kakiniumauma. Yes, atakuuma. And that bite is really painful. It hits different. You feel it hits to your head inside and to other places. It's like it's connected. It's painful. Ni kama ukigongwa ile kidole ya mwisho umegongwa kwa kitanda ama kwa kiti. You know that feeling that makes you feel it has gone to your head? It's a sharp pain. And that's why you find most mothers actually stop their children from breastfeeding because it's too painful. You're always having a cut, which you have to keep applying some creams that are usually provided for medically. So that usually becomes